I think Stephen may be on. I'm not sure.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Woo.
Stephen, thank you so
Hey,
much.
guys. Good morning.
So we have 47. You probably can't see this. We have 47 committed ambassadors from some new,
Awesome.
brand new, some renewed people, a few renewed people, but mostly people who are leaders and developing leaders all over the country. And so right now there's 47 on, and we've asked them to to mute their phones and their lines unless you're called upon. We're going to help trying to manage that, but we're going to turn it over to you, Stephen. It's your call.
Well, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for inviting me to speak to the group. So, guys, we were talking and with Hal and Lisa, and they were like, we want to go diamond. And I said, yes, I agree. And so, but they said, we don't want to go diamond alone. We want to take a big group, a number of people with us on this journey. And so I said, you know what, let's get a call together, with all your leaders that want to turn rank, that want to go to the next level. So, guys, as we talk about, before we get into the specifics, I just want to say, I really believe what we've talked about on the calls over the last, I don't know, it's been, a number of weeks, if not a couple of months. I truly believe that the timing for what we're doing here is right. And, I'm not a person that believes that you let circumstances dictate your future at all. But I do believe that when the market is ready, when the window opens, I call it the window of opportunity, it doesn't open often. And when it does, you just have to respect it. You have to decide to go for it and dive straight in. And I believe the window around the world is opening in a major way due to an extreme circumstance called COVID. So this is something that obviously none of us have experienced. It's been 100 years since we've seen anything like this, just as a global community. Our parents and grandparents and so forth, maybe even great-grandparents experienced it. You have this whole, what's the word I'm looking for, Hal? It's a suppression, right? That's been over the world for a year. And as the old thing goes in physics, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So what I believe is going to happen globally is I believe there's going to be a rebound, and I believe it's going to come out and people are going to go crazy. Just want to live life, to want to achieve goals, to want to set new standards, to want to, just to basically be able to live their life, right? As we talked about last week on the Freedom Call. So I think our timing is perfect. And so when Lisa and Hal and Eva and Chris and Jenny and Tony said, hey, we want to go to the next level, I said, you know what? Let's do it, but let's not go alone. So the call today is basically to do a couple of things. Number one, to honor the boldness and the statement that you've all given that says, I want to go to the next level, whether it's area, regional, national, presidential, diamond, whatever it may be. And we're not going to be together long today because I need for you to do a little homework, okay? But we are going to talk about the very specifics that it's going to take to get there. And this is going to be the first call of a number, just so you know. This does fit straight into the Project 500 that we've all been, working through and moving through and so forth. But a couple of things I just want to share as we get into this. The first thing is to begin with the end in mind. There's a great book you probably have heard of called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And that was one of his rules, if you will, laws in the book, is to start out and think about where you want to go, take yourself out there, and then work backwards to where you are today. So when it comes to beginning with the end in mind, what I want to ask you is, where do you want to be 90 days, a year out, 5 years out? Where do you want to ultimately get? Now, as you guys, if you plugged into the trainings we've been doing on Project 500, you can look out and say, okay, in 5 years, I want to be at this place, and that's great. But we have to back up and backtrack to where we are right now. And I believe in eating the elephant, if you will, one bite at a time, right? So saying, okay, we're here today. Here's where we want to be in 90 days. So let's take a look at where we stand today and where we want to be 90 days out from right now. So as you're thinking about your rank run, and by the way, Hal and Lisa, that banner you guys put together was awesome. Just thinking about a rank run, here's where we are now, here's where we want to go. We have to say, okay, so we're there now. So how do we get to this, first chunk, and then the second chunk and third chunk and beyond? So a couple of things that I'll share with you. First and foremost is when you're thinking about moving to the next level, the first step is, okay, let's take a look at where we are right now. So one of the exercises, Hal and Lisa, and you guys can comment if you want to, but one of the exercises that I asked them to do is to map out their team, map out the organization. Where is our group right now? Now, this will mean different things to different people, right? Based on the, maturity and size of your team. But if you had to look at the month of March and go, okay, we are in March, this is where we stood for my team, good, bad, or indifferent, right? These are the numbers. These are the facts. This is the data. This is where we were in March. We have to identify what that looks like. So the first step that I want to encourage you guys to do, and I'm going to ask you to actually put this down, and Hal and Lisa, if you will, I'd like you to send the chart that I sent to you out to all the members of our call, okay? What it is a map. So if you want to go from, I live in Dallas, for example. If I want to go to see Hal and Lisa in Arkansas, I want to go Farmington. The first thing I probably will do with my phone is put it in maps and type in the address where I want to go. And that map will tell me the directions of how to get there. First thing we have to know is where we start, and then we have to know where we're going. So what I want to challenge you guys to do is Hal and Lisa will send you an organizational chart that will ask you where you are in your current position within the business, as far as your current rank, what volume you did in March, okay? Because we start there, and from there we build from that point. What it will then ask you is, who are your key leaders that are front line, if you will, personally sponsored, that are within your organizational tree? And so it'll say, okay, you have these people that you've personally enrolled. Here's their volume in March, and here's their volume, their rank that they qualified for. And we start there. And what we're going to do is we're going to build on that. So we're going to start by taking a look at your front line and who's who, who's where, who's qualified at what level, right? Again, high, low, doesn't matter. It makes no difference where you guys, I don't care if you've been in Zilis from day one or if you just joined last month. The reality is this: you can radically alter your situation within a matter of months. I believe you can probably condense timeframes. My guess is you could probably do in 1 year what might normally take you 3 years, and just in normal, the normal economic environment because of COVID, because it's been so extreme. So Hal and Lisa, let me just ask you to comment on this. So you guys did this exercise and you took a look at your team, you mapped it out. What did you take from the exercise as it relates to looking at your team, figuring out here's this leg, that leg, here's the volume, this is what they did. What words would you share with your group in regard to the exercise that you guys did?
Well, the first thing I would say, the outcome of that is that the people on this call today are a direct result of us putting it on the board, in the circles, on the diagram to see who is where for this call.
Right.
And then we looked in their teams and said, who do we fill in these other circles on their teams? We wrote the volume. And then the third thing is, in our weak areas, we had to search out who else outside of those leadership groups, who else needs to hear from us to build their volume if they're willing to do the work, which ultimately helps us build our volume. We had to identify specifically who they are, and that helped do that. That would be my response. It's an immediate outcome. We have now 50 people on this call as a result of that work. So that's my take on it.
The other thing, Stephen, I want to add to that is once your organization is more mature, sometimes it's kind of hard to see where the volume is coming from. And so mapping it out generationally like this is super helpful to know how to create depth and how to drive from the bottom up.
And one more thing, for those who don't have, obviously, we're the only ones on our team on this call who have the circles filled in to the volume that we do. But I believe our team understands this a little bit. But like you taught in Project 500, draw your circles that are empty so that you can envision filling them. And this is another example of that. You did it on your calendar for showing the plan. This is the same principle. If you've only got two circles with names on it and there's a bunch of empty spots, please don't be discouraged. Understand that you have to envision seeing those circles filled, and that creates your team. So
it allows us to envision scale, if you will.
It's a great tool, Stephen. That's all I can say.
No, I totally agree. So what I hear you saying is the first thing you have to do is you have to take a look at, here's where we are. Here was our volume in March. Here's how many frontline leaders, are, the volume they did that made up your total. And then what we do is we go down to then generation 2 and then generation 3, maybe even 4, right? And we start pinpointing. I want you guys to write that down. Pinpoint your volume. It's not, people think this business is like this mystery, and they think that, you're going to somehow stumble into success. And guys, the cool thing about MLM, there are stories of people that somehow got lucky, put one superstar left, one superstar right. And that will happen from time to time. But I'm a huge believer in getting lucky on purpose. So how do we get lucky on purpose? We pinpoint volume. We take a look at, you're here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 leaders frontline. Your total volume was, let's just say 30,000 or 10,000, whatever. Then you break that down and go, okay, that volume was spread apart, across these different frontline leaders. And then here's the deal. Their volume was spread amongst their leaders. So if you have a leader that did 10,000, okay, great. So they had 3,000 here, 2,000 here, 500 here, 2,000 there, right? In other words, the volume, guys, it always flows up. So what I learned years ago, if you want to turn rank, you don't try to turn rank yourself. You don't go, hey, I want to go diamond. So for example, on this call, when we were talking about Lisa and Hal going diamond, the first thing we talked about is, okay, great. So that's 300,000 BV, right? No one is going to go sign up that many people. That would be a total of, I think, like 150 gold packs, something crazy like that, right? Be more than that, it'd be like 1,500. The point is, no one's going to go sponsor that much volume to get to that level. And by the way, the higher you want to go, the more you have to engage your team. So what it comes down to, if you want to go, let's say regional, 30,000 points. A regional is nothing more than 3 areas, right? An area is nothing more than 3 cities. So we built the ranks this way on purpose. So if you think about it, if you have a regional, 30,000 points, the best way to go regional is not trying to go regional. It's to help 3 people that are in different legs for you. It could be leg 1, leg 2, leg 3 that go area. Okay, so that's easy to understand. So then how do we do that? Well, then we help those 3 areas identify 3 city ambassadors. Because if they help 3 people on their team go city ambassador, boom, by default, they make area. And that's the whole key to this whole thing, guys, is identifying and pinpointing in your team who wants to turn rank, okay? So I need you to map out your organization. Hal and Lisa will send you the form, and I want you to put into that document, here's where I was in March, here are the frontline leaders that I have, and then here are the leaders below them that made up their rank. And again, guys, it doesn't matter where you're at as far as numbers. We just have to understand where we start. And we begin with the end in mind. Here's where we are today, and here's where we're going to go, okay? So a couple of other just points that I'll share with you, because the form is very self-explanatory. It's just numbers, right? Go into your rank research, you pull it down, you write the numbers in. The thing that I will say to you when it comes to turning a rank, when it comes to making the next level, and this is really anything in life, I think, in general, but when it comes to business, guys, you have to make a decision. You have to decide, for me and my family, here's where we are going to go. Here's what we're going to accomplish. Here's what we're going to achieve. And you have to make the decision. You don't have to know how you're going to get there. 100%. I mean, Lisa, you told the story when you first got started. Eva goes, you're going to get your Jeep, right? And you're like, well, I don't even know what that, like, how do I do that? You didn't need to know. Eva knew, right? And you just decided to be teachable and follow her instruction. Can you comment on that Jeep run just so folks can hear from you, Lisa, as far as how that went down?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people have heard my story, but they know that I had a lot of attitude and some PTSD from 13 years of trying to be successful in different platforms. So when Eva walked in, she's like, girl, if you're coachable and trainable and you could just do what I say, you're going to get your Jeep in your first 30 days. And I didn't believe her, but she just kept showing up once a week. She came and did meetings for us. She came early and she expected me to have people, just put people in front of me is what she said. I just knew the product worked. I didn't really know you, Stephen. I didn't really know Eva, and I really didn't know how to explain the business. So I got people in front of her and she got people in the business, and she guided me on that 10,000 BV journey in my first month.
So, and I want to just comment, Stephen, I know it was Lisa's experience, but I've had the perspective of hearing that story and knowing it deeper. And so he tells that story like that almost every time. That Eva told her that's exactly how it was. Eva did drive down on a regular basis to do local meetings. You came to do meetings, and the business blew up in Evansville. However, the other thing that happened is that Lisa showed the plan herself on a very regular basis, daily. The second thing she did is she got her people on the phone with Eva on a regular and consistent basis when Eva was not in town to follow up. And I know you're going to talk a bit about that because it is the plan on how to do it. But it wasn't just that Eva drove down and made it happen for Lisa. Lisa had to do the work, and she did it coming with PTSD from a previous non-successful, very traumatic.
Right.
You know, here we go again. After 13 years, I'm starting all over. Are you kidding me? And I think for her, it would not have happened had Nate not had a great experience. And there's a lot of people on this call who are waiting on someone in their life to have a great experience. And it's not required. As a matter of fact, great experiences, unfortunately, can turn into a product-oriented approach rather than a business approach, which you teach. So anyway, that's my perspective. I think it's fair for our team to hear that it was more than what Lisa often tells.
Sure. Yep. You know, there are a number of nuggets in there. I think that guys, listen, you don't have to know how we're going to do it. You just have to, number one, trust, and number two, make a decision. And your decision has to say this: I am going to hit this rank no matter what. And by the way, I'm going to push until we get there, and I will not give up. I won't quit. I won't throw the towel in. Again, this is, every ambassador has, you know, it's a volunteer army, right? It's like a church. People ask me all the time. I talked to a gentleman this last, let's see, it was on Thursday, and he's very successful, owns a big child care industry, business where they have a number of different, child, facilities, whatnot.
I just hope everyone
millions
knows
of dollars
that
in sales.
you are
And he was asking about, he's very
everything
curious,
it
like,
takes.
how does MLM work? How does network marketing work? And I said, the difference is you have employees that have to be there. They have to come every day if they want their job, they want their check, et cetera, benefits, whatnot. In network marketing, no one has to. Like, you guys are on this call this morning, not because you have to, you want to. When I said, Hal and Lisa, let's go diamond, I didn't say you have to go diamond. I said, do you guys want to go diamond? They said, yes. I said, awesome. Let's make it happen. And so it just comes down to you having that desire and that want to, and you wouldn't be on this phone if you didn't. So the point is, guys, starts with the decision. Okay. Then number two, we map it out. We take a look at where are you currently in your team, a lot of volume, not much volume, whatever. Here's the reality of where we stand today. The third thing is this: going back to Project 500, we have to fill your calendar. Guys, when I get to the next point, I will come and work for you. Eva and Chris will work for you. Jenny and Tony will work for you. Hal and Lisa will work for you, but we cannot build the business for you. So what it's going to come down to, in between the events that we're going to do together, it's going to come down to what are you doing between the events. So if Hal and Lisa are there Thursday and Eva and Chris come 14 days later, Jenny and Tony 14 days later, me 14 days later, awesome. We will help you. I promise you, roll the sleeves up, go to work. But what's going to matter is what happens between the time that Lisa and Hal are there, Eva and Chris are there, right? Jenny and Tony are there, et cetera. So you have to get back to the whole Project 500 thing. You have to show the plan to Hal's point. I wish there was a way to make it happen where we could all just, grab and hold hands and move down the road, but we have to be willing to divide and conquer. Okay. So that doesn't mean you have to speak in front of 100 people. It doesn't mean you have to do large conference calls. It just means you have to be willing to sit down in front of someone at a Starbucks, at their kitchen table, wherever, and say, you know what, let me share with you the vision of Zilis. And so the third point today is that we need for you to be willing to show the plan. And guys, your presentation, it doesn't have to be spectacular. The more you do it, the more the better you'll get, but you don't have to be good in the beginning, man. You just got to show it. Remember, your prospect's never seen it. They don't know if that's a good presentation, not a good presentation, whatever. They've never even heard of Zilis in many cases. So the point is, you show it, and then of course you engage the upline when it comes to three-ways, things like that. And if there's holes to fill, if there's portions that maybe you didn't get into, the upline can help fill those gaps. So the third point I want to make today, guys, is we have to have you showing the plan, right? So we make a decision, we map out the group where it is today, good, bad, or indifferent. You make the decision, I'm going to go out and show the plan, right? Again, one-on-one, two-on-one, three-on-one, et cetera. The fourth piece to this whole puzzle is support. So when you go on a rank run, you don't go alone, right? So if Hal and Lisa say, you know what, we're going diamond, I'm going to go, you know what, guys, let's do it. Now, I can't go in and be with them every day and be right beside them. We have groups around the country and around the world, and we have a business around that sort of thing. That doesn't work. But when Hal and Lisa make the decision and they draw on that line in the sand that no matter what, we are going to hit this goal, and we're certainly going to set timelines. But even if we don't hit it during that timeline, we are not going to stop until we make the ultimate goal. At that point, that empowers your upline and myself to support you. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to build calendars, okay? And these calendars are going to be basically based on what I call rotations, where we have different, and you guys are so blessed. You guys have, listen, when I was coming up in this business, I didn't really have an upline. And so it was one of those situations where I had to learn this whole process. I started with, here I'm going to go. This is what I'm going to do no matter what. And then I had to figure it out. You guys have literally among the best leadership in the industry. I put a comment on Jenny's Facebook post today. She put up a post up on a call she's doing this morning. And I said, Jenny and Tony Lesby are the best trainers in network marketing, period. What a blessing to be able to have people that have gone down that road before you. If you've read The Dream Giver, Bruce Wilkinson, by the way, if you haven't, to buy that book or buy the audio, either way. But there's a character in the book called Champion. And Champion, for the main character of the book, is that person that inspires the main character in the book to actually go for his dream, right, or her dream. And the character, his name is Ordinary. It's a wonderful book. It's almost like required reading if you're in network marketing. But the point is, the main character, Ordinary, has a dream, but he doesn't know how to get there. He doesn't know how to accomplish the dream. He doesn't really know like what the journey is going to look like, but he looks at Champion as like a model, a mentor. And Champion says, listen, you can do this. And Champion goes down the road and he challenges Ordinary to follow along that journey. So guys, we're going to challenge you to do the same thing. So we're going to build this calendar. Hal and Lisa will galvanize with all of you as far as what cities, what states, et cetera. And we're going to build this rotation. But again, guys, I can come speak to your team. Hopefully I fire them up. You get Jenny and Tony in front of that room, they'll get fired. You get Eva Angelopoulos in front of anyone. If there's any spark of hope and any spark of passion and fire for the future, Eva will find that spark. You know how she has a gift for that, right? So she'll do that, and Lisa and Hal will too. But the point is this: if we come in and we do the event for you, like for example in Evansville, Mary Ellen and the team did an amazing job. We had like 60, 70 something people in for a lunch, and that's fantastic. But how do we go from 60 to 70 to 150? The way we do that is not by me coming in and doing another meeting or by Hal and Lisa or whomever. It comes down to what is the local team in Evansville doing every day? If we continue to fill the funnel with new blood, new ambassadors, right? Even prospects, by the way, they don't even have to be in the business. But if we're out putting folks in process, then when you have that next leader coming through, now there's a reason for that person that may not even be signed up yet to want to come out to the event to meet that special person, that upline leader, owner, CEO, whatever. So if you guys are willing, and if you will do your part, I'm telling you, together we will lock arms and we will absolutely change the world. And guys, we will change your world. I want you to stop and I want you to think about the actual reality of making $10, $20, $30, $40,000 per month in Zilis. Real life. I'm talking like within 12 months. And what would that do for you? How would that impact your family? How would that impact your future? What opportunities would that give your kids? What opportunities would it give your grandkids? Right? The legacy of just having the ability. A gentleman I was talking to, again, very wealthy guy, he said something like, money doesn't make you happy. I said, I agree. But even if you're unhappy, it's better to have unhappiness with prosperity, right, than it is to be broke, because then it's like a double whammy. So the point is, guys, thinking about and really starting to internalize the fact that you have the real life opportunity in front of you right now to become financially free, not only for the rest of your life, you have a chance to be financially free for the next generation. Imagine that, being able to pass that down to your kids, your grandkids. So we talk about this, Hal and Lisa, we talk about a rank run, and you know, obviously it's challenging, it's exciting, a little scary, but I think it's so important for the group to realize this is so much bigger. This is not about just qualifying for the rank in 30 or 60 or 90 days. This is literally about decades down the road of what they can do for their family. So, and by the way, if you ask me, what do you really love about this business? That's what I love. I am passionate and fired up about helping families change the entire course of their life. Not only for them, but for the next generation as well. Any thoughts?
So, yeah, first of all, Stephen, we need you to back us up on this. Lisa mentioned we had a little pre-meeting and we promoted one book, and that was The Dream Giver. And
how about that?
And I just need you to back us up. We didn't plan that, did we, Stephen?
Nope, that was not planned. You know what that's called, Hal? That's called duplication.
That's right. That's right. And
right.
so, gosh, we don't want to speak too much. We want to continue to, but Lisa, do you have any?
Yeah, Stephen, I just want to really thank you for just breathing life, not just into this team, but into me. 3.5 years ago, I was in a really bad place, broken in many ways. And this business, your mentorship, Eva's mentorship, literally changed my life and changed my future, changed my financial health, changed my impact in the world. The ability to bring Al on board and his family changed his life. I just want people to understand that you're not just speaking words, you're speaking experience. You created this to really be able to duplicate your own massive success, not just stopping with you and your family.
And I want to say one more thing, and I know you have more here, but I just wrote down something, Stephen, that was a realization for me, and I want to share it with our team. So I recognize as the CEO, leader, and visionary of Zilis, that the best way for me to build my business as you have imagined it, created it, breathe it, live it every day is for me to catch things that are your deepest heart and desire. In other words, just the things that drive you. And so I know there's two things for sure. And I'm going to say three that you demonstrate and live, and I have to live them this way to follow you. So first one is pay it forward. Second one, you said it just now. The deepest part of you is to help families for the future. I mean, and really change their lives as a part of my purpose. And the other is serving with a purpose, not just service, but service with a purpose. So I'm saying that not to you, but to just say to our team that if you want to follow Stephen Thompson, it's not about the compensation plan. It's not about the products. Ultimately, what it's about is, can you get on board with a man who's leading from pay it forward, who's leading from serving families with a purpose and great deep desire to impact families' lives for generations. And that's just three of the things. But, you know, I know we talk nuts and bolts, but you guys, you have to, like, if you can't buy into Stephen's vision, it's going to be a challenge. But if you can, he's leading the path. Just get in the wake and run.
I lost you for a moment there. You know the old saying, to be successful, do a lot of R&D, Hal. You know what that stands for?
What?
Rob and duplicate. Right? The old saying, to be successful, be a copycat, right? You just have to make sure you're copying the right cat. So the point is this. If I could look, mentorship is wisdom without waiting. Okay? Wisdom without waiting. So if I say, so I have mentors in my life. One gentleman that's, he's kind of my primary. I have different mentors in different areas of life. You can't, you know, no person is perfect at everything, right? We were all made in the image of his likeness, right? But we all have this. We're all striving to attempt to become the man or the woman that God wants us to be. But in this particular instance, there's one gentleman that is a very large influence in my life, and he's 61 years old. He's very, very successful. He's worth just south of $1 billion. Okay, but he's also one of the most generous, one of the most compassionate, loving, real, genuine people you'll ever meet. And he and I sat down on Wednesday this week. I think I mentioned this a minute. And, you know, we were just talking, you know, like, you know, what he was saying, like, he doesn't know MLM. He doesn't understand what we do. He kind of does, but he kind of doesn't, you know. And he was like, you know, is it about bringing a great product to the market for you? Is it about providing the best product to your consumers? And I said, absolutely. That's a big part of what we do. He goes, is it about, you know, because he's fascinated with CBD and all that. He said, is it about, like, impacting health? I said, oh, absolutely, 100%. He said, okay, what else? And it goes back to Hal's point. Guys, this business, the greatest gift that this business gives us is the ability to change the trajectory in people's lives, to give them freedom. What does that mean? Well, it's freedom of choice at the end of the day. When you become financially free, you have the opportunity. It doesn't mean you're free of responsibilities and, you know, any of that kind of stuff. It just means you have the capability of choosing what direction you want you and your family to go down, right? And so with that being said, here's my challenge to you. Step one, allow yourself to become fiercely committed to your goals. Until you become financially free, you can't show someone else how to do it. So let's get you to 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month. Now, back to the product and his comment, When Jack asked, he's like, hey, is it about bringing a great product to the, he was a consumer guy. He had, at one point in time, he owned Dr. Pepper. Okay. So, Dr. Pepper, if you're Texan, it's kind of a religion, but the point is, it tastes good, but he's not changing a life by selling a can of Dr. Pepper. What I try to explain to him is that, yes, we do change lives with our product for sure. But guys, you got to get this. No one is going to wake up with a fire in their heart, a burning desire to want to go share health. Some people do. Let me correct myself. Some people do. Health practitioners and people that are in that, the wellness community, that's obviously what they've chosen. But even if you're a doctor or a vet or a holistic practitioner, all that stuff is great. But the point is, what will fire people up, yourself and others, is creating freedom. So what I want to challenge you to think about is, first, give yourself permission to go for your goals. Give yourself permission to get locked and loaded on a financial position, $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 per month this year, or at least within 12 months, right? And then at that point, we have to allow ourselves to dive in. So we're going to, number one, we're going to set the goal, make the decision. We're going to begin with the end in mind. Number three, we're going to map out where we are right now, okay? Next, we are going to commit to getting into action, because, guys, we can build all the schedules. We can provide all the, what I call aerial support, meaning upline coming in, doing events, et cetera. But I can't build all these cities that are on this phone. There's 50 people here. I live in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? My wife likes it when I travel some, but she doesn't want me to be gone forever, right? So I can't, nor can Hal and Lisa, nor can Eva and Chris, nor can Jenny and Tony. We cannot build your local market for you. We will help you. We will provide support. Here's the beautiful thing. The more that you do locally, in between the events, in between when Hal and Lisa are there, when Eva and Chris are there, et cetera, the more you do that, the more impact that Hal and Lisa have when they come. Because why? We have so much more new blood that is flowing in to the top of the funnel. So, guys, I just challenge you to make the decision to allow yourself to go for your dream. And then the final point that I have today is to think about and begin to imagine you paying that whole concept forward. First, you start out with the book. You start as ordinary with a dream that moves into the land of unfamiliar, the uncomfort zone. And then you go through challenges, you go through questions, but then you find a champion. It's what Hal and Lisa are for you. They're your champion. And they're saying, hey, I believe in you. Let's go. Walk this journey. I know it's scary, but it's not going to be what you think. Take the step, move forward, right? But what I want you to do next is start opening your mind to the idea of becoming a champion for others. Building leaders, not maintaining followers. Building leaders, right? If teachers teaching teachers to teach teachers to teach. Good one to write down. Teachers teaching teachers to teach teachers to teach. You start thinking about duplicating this whole process. Guys, imagine what you and your team have the ability to do in this world. The impact you have the ability to help single moms get out of debt, to help people send their kids to college, to help people that are in a dead-end job, a career that's going nowhere, find purpose. You have the ability to pay forward prosperity. And you have the ability to do that at a degree you cannot even imagine. So this call, this group of 50 or 47, whatever you said, this group has the ability to start right now today, Saturday morning. What's the date today? April the 10th. This team has the capability of changing the world. You hear people say that, and when Jack asked me, what drives you? I said, Jack, I want to build an organization that changes the world. Period. End of story. Will we sell product? Of course. The product is a vehicle. It's the commodity that we use, but it's not about the product. And again, guys, our product is arguably the greatest thing that's ever been seen in network marketing. I mean, Lisa, think about your time in Nu Skin, big, huge, billion-dollar company, great products. But did you ever have people that would stood up on the stage and go, this product has changed my life? No. This product changed my kid's life. This product saved my life, saved my family member's life. That's the beauty of cannabinoid science. But ladies and gentlemen, the product will work on its own. Do you realize that when you give someone Ultracell or Rev or R&R, whatever, do you know that that product's going to influence them physically the exact same if you tell them nothing or if you sit them down with Dr. Weintraub and give them an 8-hour course? The product's going to work the exact same. We have to go share this with more people. The beautiful thing, the X factor, is the world opening back up. Guys, listen. Network marketing operates based on windows of opportunity, okay? And I can tell you this for a fact, after 25 years, you can build in the wind of adversity when the window is closed, and you can definitely build and become successful, no doubt. But when you have the wind behind you, when you combine the wind being behind you with work, oh my gosh, watch out. Guys, we're entering into what is going to be an age, if you will, of prosperity. It's going to be something, the likes that we have never seen, none of us in our entire life. You'd have to go back again to maybe your parents or grandparents or great-grandparents to be able to actually understand just how massive this is going to be. Think about it. The entire world wants to live. The entire world wants to get out, experience life. They want to travel. They want to go for they want to wake their dreams back up. Tell me, you cannot convince me that the entire world did not put their goals and dreams on pause in 2020. So we have the opportunity to be the dream and the goal, if you will. So when you think about what you offer, a merchant in a store that offers, goods, services, products, whatever, I want you to think about being a dream merchant. So when you're talking to your prospects, guys, listen, product is awesome. By the way, we have the greatest product ever invented, okay? However, we have an opportunity to set your family free financially. So as you're talking to the people that you're prospecting and even the team, the folks that are in your team, I want you to see yourself as a merchant. You are literally offering a dream. And it's going to be different for different people. You're on this call because you want to be a leader. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. But not everyone's going to want to be like you, right? Some folks are, hey, man, show me how to make $500 a month. Show me how to pay off this credit card. My kid needs to go to college. I don't want him or her to be on student loans. Show me how to pay for that school. Great. We can do all that. And you're going to find people like you, too, that want to actually build something huge. So I just encourage you to really think about and begin to internalize. It'll be a struggle for some and some more than others. But I want you to think, sometimes we just, we're so focused on ourselves, right? We're focused on where I'm at. How do we're struggling trying to get where we want to go. We're trying to wrestle through limiting beliefs and programming and all that stuff. But I do want you to start opening your mind to realize you have the ability to be among the inner core leaders of Zilis in a company that literally changes the world, guys. I mean, can you think of a life that is, better lived? The old saying, somebody said, well, I'm just going to wait and see. I don't want to put myself out there. My question back is, what great thing are you waiting for? What great thing are you holding yourself out for? Why not take what all of us have? And this is myself too. Why do we not take this? The window of opportunity is open. It's open larger than maybe, again, more so in 100 years. What if we take this And what if we actually build a company that ends up setting thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of families financially free? What better life could a person lead? So, Hal and Lisa, those are my 5 points for today. Again, we have to get practical. We need everyone to map out their team so we can understand where they are, because we have to understand where we are today in order to be able to, move forward into the future. But guys, you have to make the decision. I mean, I can't do it for you. If I could, I would. Hal and Lisa love every single person on this call, or you wouldn't be here. They truly love you. They love your family, and they want to see you win. But at the end of the day, they're saying, don't ask for a hand out, ask for a hand up. They will reach down and pull you up, but you have to extend the hand up first. So, guys, I'm excited. We're going to put schedules together, by the way, practically. We're going to be getting tours organized so we can make sure we touch as many of these markets as possible. Because even then, we can't. Guys, no one from out of town is going to build your market. They can't. They're not there every day. What builds a market is when you're meeting one-on-one, two-on-one, three-on-one, Tuesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, Saturday morning, Sunday afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the big meeting. Big meetings don't invent themselves. The way you build a large meeting is all the little meetings happening between the big meeting, the big meeting, the big pillar of event. So, LaSalle, any thoughts?
Well, at least.
No, I just want to thank you, Stephen. And we just had one really quick question.
We can do that.
No, just.
Yeah, you guys?
Yeah, just no, we're here. Just because we have a couple of really new people on the call. Just the question is, could you just address that newest person on the call?
Yeah, if you're new here, you need to get a 4x4 in a 2020. 4x4 means you sponsor 4 who get 4. Okay. Now, when we talk about the 4x4, here's what you have to realize: the odds of you doing a 4x4 proper, meaning you literally sponsor 4 who sponsor 4, it happens. But I would relate that kind of to the lottery. You can buy a lottery ticket and you might win the lottery. It's possible, but you're probably one out of a very rare group, right? So when it comes to the 4x4 and getting to area, my challenge to you is sponsor 20 left, 20 right. That may take you a month. It may take you 90 days, maybe 6 months, maybe a year. You pick the speed. But I challenge you, I dare you to personally enroll 20 on your left and 20 on your right. Now, why is that? It's because of what's called the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule says that 80% of the production of your downline is going to come from 20% of your distributors. Period. End of story. And guys, don't fight it. It's like gravity. If you jump off the 10th floor, gravity will win, right? Same thing is true in this business. So the problem with people that only sponsor 2, 3, 4, 5 individuals is they're now relying upon those people to go, generate their success. Don't do that. Take the odds into your own hands. If you bring 20 left, 20 right, the odds say you're going to have 4 to 5 leaders in your left leg and your right leg that are serious. And guys, I learned years ago, I tried to change this, by the way, you cannot make somebody else serious. You can't do it. They have to have the fire with, like when I called Hal and Lisa, I said, guys, I'm going to challenge you to go on a diamond run. And they'll tell you, I didn't say, hey guys, it'd be great if you made diamond. It'd be wonderful if here's all the great things. I said, guys, I want to challenge you. I believe in you. And I believe that the window is open for you to go diamond within 90 days. I didn't say, hey guys, let's try to get it done. I said, matter of fact, do you want to go diamond? He said, yes. Right. And I said, great. Now I can work with you. If that makes sense. So when Lisa and Hal call you and they go, hey, I believe you can go national. We have to start with where you are. And that's why we need the map. But we start with where you are. And then they're going to go, you know what? I think you can make regional, maybe national, presidential, whatever. Some of you guys are still focused. You're thinking small. You're thinking, well, let me just get to area. Guys, look, you should go area in 30 days. area is achievable for anybody if they're willing to put the time in. It's about regional, national, presidential, and above. So my point is, I didn't have to like try to convince them or sweet talk them into wanting to go diamond. They want to go diamond on their own. So I challenged them, and Lisa and Hal, I didn't pull any punches. I said, guys, this is what it's going to take. Are you in? And I waited. Their answer, abso-freaking-lutely.
I think it was hell
At
yeah.
that point in time, heck yeah. Hey, watch your language, young man.
Sorry.
Heck
Sorry,
yeah.
Mom. Sorry, Mom.
No, I'm guilty sometimes, Hal, of getting a little bit passionate on calls. And it's funny because when I was here, I'll digress for a second. When I was a leader in the field, I would say things, and but now that I'm the CEO, people say, oh, he should, I'm sorry, excuse me. Sometimes I get passionate, my heart's in the right place, but it's all good. Heck yeah, baby. Come on. So my point is, guys, I didn't call Lisa and Hal, hey guys, let's get you to diamond. It'll be so wonderful. We'll hold hands, sing Kumbaya. I said, guys, the window of opportunity is open. If you guys want this, I believe you can make diamond in 90 days, and I will be right there with you every step of the way. I will not drive, but I will ride shotgun. Are you ready, and are you willing to do whatever it takes? And are you willing, by the way, to follow every step that I suggest for you? Yes or no? I mean, it's not maybe, yes or no, black or white. They didn't think about it. They were like, yeah, do it. Let's go. So my point in sharing that with you is this. We get off this call. When Hal and Lisa call you and they go, what are you going for? Are you willing to do whatever we coach you to do? Yes or yes. You have to be ready to say, heck yeah, right then, right there. Okay? So if you're willing to, and you're willing to put the work in, we map out the team, all the things we discussed. As I'm telling you, you can change your 2021 has the ability. And it's 2021. Here's what I'll tell you. It's 2021 to 2025. And by the way, you won't experience the greatest results in 21. 21 is called seed time. 21 is our time to plant. We'll get some crop. But I'm telling you right now, guys, in 22, the crop's going to start coming. And by the time we hit 23 and then 24, watch out, man. Katie bar the door. So again, guys, I'm not here to sweet talk you, not here to try to convince you. I do want to inspire you for sure, but you got to have a fire going on your own. If you got a fire, I'll pour gas on it. That thing will become a bonfire. But if there's no fire there, I can pour gas on wood, nothing happens. So my challenge to you as we get off this call today, are you ready to step into an area of leadership, a life of influence, and a life of impact? And if you are, we will lock arms. We will literally tie straps around your wrist, Hal and Lisa's, my wrist, Jenny and Tony's, and even Chris. And we literally will take this journey together. So, Hal and Lisa, I'm fired up, man.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you so much, guys. This is gold for all of us. And Stephen, thank you. And thank you for reaching out to us the other day, asking us the questions you just described, and jumping in with us. So we're going to free you up to go do whatever you got to do, be awesome in your world. And we're going to keep the team on here till 11:30 on our own, just to follow up, make sure Q&A and all that. So
sure.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you so
Stephen,
much
for believing in all of us.
Hey, guys, I'm excited. Somebody put me on the phone with a prospect. I'll get you a gold pack right now.
Woohoo!
Have a great day.
Hey, quick side note. So I'm in Glen Rose, Texas right now, and at a place called Rough Creek Lodge. It's a beautiful 17,000 acre, property, if you will, and overlooking a beautiful lake, and we don't have mountains in Texas. We have hills, but we do our best, right? It's not Northwest Arkansas. But the bottom line at the end of the day, guys, is listen, God made you for something very special. The Bible says that we were created in his image. And this is not a Christian thing or doesn't matter. The bottom line is that book has incredible amounts of wisdom. You were made to do something special. We all were. Most people lead a life of quiet desperation. They go through their day, they do the same thing. Monday morning, drive to the office. Monday afternoon, back home. Tuesday morning, back again, etc. And I'm talking about people that, listen, if you have a dream in your heart to be something special, I got news for you. You didn't put it there. You didn't do that. It was put there by the Creator himself. And I'm telling you, would not be on this call if you didn't have the spark, if you will. If you didn't have that core, something within you that says, I want my life to make an impact. So my challenge, guys, just step into it. You don't have to know how to do it. We got you. I promise you. I can do it with my eyes closed. Give me a spark. Just give myself, Hal and Lisa, even Chris and Jenny and Tony. If you will give us a spark, I'm telling you guys, we will walk into your life. We will pour gasoline all over it and turn it into a massive bonfire. Okay?
Awesome.
So, guys, thanks so much for allowing me to be with you today. I hope everyone has an amazing Saturday. Absolutely. Lisa and Hal, we need organizational maps ASAP. Like, I'm talking by Sunday night latest, because we have to take a look at, like, again, being very practical, we have to look at, here's where guys, I don't care what your numbers are. Your numbers may be far beyond what you expected. Your numbers may stink. I don't care. We just have to understand where you are. So now we can go pinpoint the volume, and we can create the level in the rank that you are wanting to achieve.
All right.
Got
our marching orders. Thanks, Stephen.
All right, guys.
Y'all stay
Thanks
on
so
here.
much. Over and out.
Thank you,
Love you guys.
Stephen.
Appreciate you.
Thank
Okay.
you, Stephen.
Ciao, ciao.
Okay. We set this call up from 9:30 to 11:30 for a reason. We knew that we wanted to meet with you before, and we had no idea how long Stephen would go. So we have about 32 minutes to close off right at 11:30.